With respect to the private pension systems, I have proposed to provide a universal access to a new type of privately run retirement plan. The plans would be called Universal Secure and Adaptable Retirement Funds, USA Retirement Funds for short. The basic idea is to create a new type of plan that has all the advantages of a traditional pension: professional management, economies of scale, longevity risk pooling, without forcing employers to bear all the risk. It would work like this. Employers participating in a USA retirement fund would automatically, got that, enroll their employees. In other words, all employees would participate unless they specifically opted out. You don't opt in, you have to opt out. Employer and employee contributions would go into the fund and would be managed by a board of trustees, not by the employer. That's different than traditional pension plans. When a participant retires, the fund would provide the retiree with a monthly benefit, an annuity, for as long as he or she lives. And under my proposal, as we have drafted it thus far, again, you wouldn't get these lump sums at the end. It would be an annuity that you would get every month for as long as you live. Now, again, that's similar to a normal pension, but again, here's the biggest difference, as I just mentioned. Employers wouldn't be responsible for managing the fund. They would have no fiduciary duty, and they wouldn't have to make up any underfunding. In our hearings, in our committee, several witnesses made it clear that there were two big reasons employers don't want to offer a pension and why they're getting out of it. First, they don't want to bear all the risk. They don't like the fact that if the economy goes south, as we've seen recently, they're forced to put in additional money at the same time that their businesses are struggling. Secondly, they just don't want to manage the day-to-day operation of those plans. It's just too complicated, and employers want to focus on their core businesses. Now, personally, I would love it if employers would do the right thing and provide pensions, and many employers still see the benefits and still do offer those pensions. But I understand their concerns, especially with small businesses. So with the USA retirement funds, I'm trying to strike a balance that's fair to employers and employees. USA retirement funds would take all the risk off of the employers. The funds would be managed by an independent, qualified board of trustees. And employers' contributions would be fixed like they are with a defined contribution plan. By using, I think, conservative assumptions, we can be fairly certain that the fund will be able to pay full benefits for as long as participants live without needing employers to provide additional funds. But here's the deal. It's like an insurance pool, okay, folks? It's like an insurance pool. As long as it's broad enough, and it has to be broad, this has to be big and broad. Then if there is an economic downturn or some other serious problem, benefits would be adjusted to reflect the market reality. So that's where it's a little different than a defined benefit. So that if there is a downturn, everybody takes a little haircut, but no one gets sunk. And likewise, when the economy comes back, it lifts it back up again. So that's where it is a little bit different. In other words, again, by spreading risk over large groups of participants, we can significantly reduce the impact that market changes would have on any individual. But again, this program would give people access to a lot of the benefits of a traditional pension. Said it would be a pension, it would be an annuity as long as they live. It'd also be attractive to employers, especially small businesses, since they don't have to bear the fiduciary responsibilities. So I think it's a win-win for everyone involved. Again, I'm proposing that employers who do not offer a pension or a generous 401k would have to automatically, as I said, enroll their employees and make modest contributions. Again, I would point out that our plan or proposing wouldn't directly affect public sector workers or people with pensions already. Those would continue because those pensions are working, and we should fight to keep them strong. And I think by adopting something like what I'm talking about, or something like that California system, then more and more people would see the benefits of a defined benefit program. And maybe we could really lessen these attacks that we've been seeing over the last couple of years. So again, I think by lifting everyone up, we can reduce the gap between the haves and have-nots, cut into that feeling of what I call pension envy. I got to be careful about that one. That's driving much of the negative public discourse about pensions.